Welcome to my YouTube channel Supercar Sunday. Today I wanted to do a catch-up video on the Kia. So as you'll know if you've been following the videos on this one, the Kia Sportage suffered quite a bit of accident damage. There was quite a bit of accident damage to the front end, the rear and also the side. I've done a video already on repairing a lot of the damage, pulling out the dents and also the filler work. Once I'd carried out all those repairs, I got the vehicle into primer. I've also done a video on showing you how to rub down the primer and prepping the car up ready for paint. If you've not seen any of these videos already, please go to my accident damage Kia Sportage playlist and watch all the videos there. So after prepping the panels up, it was time to get the vehicle into paint. It takes a long time to prep a vehicle up for paint. You've got to knock the primer down first, that's over any of the repairs. So you've got to knock that down. I generally use a 240 or a 320 or something like that. I just knock the thick off with a guide coat and then I go over it all with an 800. I go over the rest of the panels that are to be painted with 800 wet or dry, and then I go over them with a scotch pad. And I use a prep and blend paste with a scotch pad as well. After that I clean all the panels down with some clean water and then I dry them off with some blue roll. I go over them with some panel wipe and then it's time to mask the vehicle off ready for the paint. So as well as this vehicle having damage to the quarter and the outside of the door, it also had some damage on the inside of the door. Well, it was actually just on the inner quarter, so I've had to mask this car off so I can open the door and paint inside as well. Now, something interesting about this job is it is actually a 3-stage pearl, so a bit of a pain in the backside because it takes a lot longer to paint 3-stage pearls. So you've got to paint on the base coat first, that's your main colour. You've got to paint several coats of that on until you get the right coverage. Then after that you've got your second coat and that's the pearl. That's like a transparent coat that goes over your main base colour and that's got your pearl effect in it. Once you've got that stage right, you can seal it in with a lacquer. And the lacquer that I used to do this job was a U-Pol System 20. I have 2 spray guns that I use for application, so I use one for the base coat and then one for the lacquer. The one I'm currently using for the base coat is Anest Iwata W400 and it's a classic. And I'm only using that gun at the moment because I dropped my LS400 and I've cracked the pot and a new pot is over £100. The gun that I use for lacquer is an Anest Iwata and that's a WS400. And that is an absolute fantastic gun for applying lacquer. The fluid tips that I have in my guns are both 1.3 and I will actually do a couple of videos on my guns at a later date. So this is me applying the lacquer and it looks like I'm actually using my W400 Classic to apply the lacquer on this one. So it is a good all-round gun, the Classic, the W400 Classic. It's good for base coat and it is actually good for lacquer. The Anest Iwata W400 Classic is a highly rated gun, so a lot of painters do like them, a lot of painters do have them in their arsenal. So the compressor I'm using to do this job, believe it or not, only has a 50 litre tank on it. It's a Clark and it's one of these quiet compressors. It kicks out nearly 500 litres of air a minute. I'll do a video on it at some point because it'll be handy for people to see a review on it, because it is actually quite a good compressor. It's ideal for people wanting to do wings and bumpers and things like that. It's maybe not quite for a full respray, and I'm stretching it really doing this job with it. Really I want something bigger, but it's serving me quite well at the moment. And while we're talking about compressors, I've just actually purchased a new one. So I've gone for a SIP. I bought a SIP this time and it's another one of these quiet compressors. I think it's about 67 decibels altogether. It's a 200 litre tank and I think it's about 18 CFM of free air. So it's a powerful compressor. It's going to be ideal for everything. I shouldn't have any problems with my full resprays and stuff like that. At the moment I also use a separate compressor for my air-fed mask that goes through its own filtration system. I think I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue running my air-fed mask off a separate compressor. Something worth mentioning is that you need a good filtration system, especially with these little compressors, because they do produce quite a lot of moisture, quite a lot of water. does get into your airline, and then obviously ends up coming through your gun onto your paintwork. So good filtration system, plenty of water traps is a must. Always empty your compressor. I empty mine a couple of times a day, and I'm always emptying the water traps. Now then, you'll see in the video that I've got a torch on the gun. Now, it's not a proper spray gun torch, it's actually just a head torch. So I got a pack of 2 of these off Amazon, and they just work an absolute treat. They're probably about 20 quid. I'll put a link in the comments if anyone's interested in putting one on their spray gun, but it really is a good idea. You can see a lot better where you're applying the paint, especially if you've got limited light. It does help you to apply the paint. It's good with lacquer. I looked at these lights, the proper spray gun lights, and the prices of them. Wow, just wow. I thought there is absolutely no way am I paying that money for a head torch that's got an adapter on it to fit on my spray gun. So I just got one of these off Amazon. I think you can probably get proper spray gun torches quite a bit cheaper now, but when I wanted one they were in the £100. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, head torch, job done. It's got a hinge on it so you can adjust the light to where you want it to be. You just wrap the band round the cup on the gun twice and that's it, job done, works a treat. So that job is about done. A quick look over with a torch, see what it's looking like. Not that there'd be anything I could do about it at this stage anyway, but I think that will do for now. The very last video I got the bumper all built up and I got it fitted to the car. Obviously the paintwork down the side and on the tailgate was okay. I didn't want to bore you with a video on flattening it all down and polishing it all up afterwards. Something else that you have to do when you've painted a vehicle is flat the paint down and actually polish it back up to get any bits out. If you've not seen the video on building up the bumper and fitting it to the car, please do check that one out, it's in the playlist. Also I show you how I repaired the grille. When I painted that front bumper I also painted the bonnet, and as you can see I had an absolute nightmare. However, I'm going to save this for another video.